right, so today we're going to be learning about what do you do when you're given the perimeter and you're given one of the sides and you're told that the other side is unknown or it's missing and you have to figure it out. It's very similar to yesterday's, but yesterday we were given the area. This time you're given the perimeter. Now let's review the difference between area and perimeter. Area is the measurement of the inside of the shape, whereas the perimeter is the measurement of the outside of the shapes. So the formula is different. And for perimeter, it is P equals side plus side plus side plus side. However many sides it has, you're just adding them all up. But in this case, the perimeter has already been given to us. We know that the perimeter is 18. So we know what our P is. We know it's 18. Now, we also know what one of our sides is. We know that that side is 5. Now, it may look like you know nothing else, but you actually do. This is a rectangle. Well, you know in rectangles that opposite sides are the same. So if this side right here is 5, that means that the other side, the opposite side, must also be 5. So you know 2 out of the 4 sides. You actually know a lot more than what you think. So I'm going to plug this into our formula. P equals length times length, not times length, I'm so sorry. Length plus length plus length plus length. Now, you can also do P equals S plus S plus S plus S plus S for sides. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to plug into this formula what I know. So I know that the perimeter is 18. So I know that when I add up all 4 of my sides, it's going to be 18. Well, I know that 2 of my sides are both 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug in the 2 sides that I know. And then I'm going to put in plus L for the 2 sides that I do not know. Well, now what I have to do is I have to take what I know first. Well, I know that 5 plus 5 gives me 10. That 10 is the sum of what these 2 sides right here are together. They are 10 together. So the question is, what plus 10 will give me 18? But it has to be the same number because opposite sides are the same. So these 2 sides are going to be the same. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to subtract from that 18 the 2 sides that I already know. And I'm left with 8. So that means that 8 is what this side right here in green plus what this side here in green is. Both those sides together, when I add them up, equals 8. But I know it has to be the same number because they're opposite sides and they're going to be the same. So it's not like one side's going to be bigger than the other. They're going to both be the same size. So to figure that out, all I have to do is do 8 divided by 2, cut it in half. That will give me equal sizes. 8 divided by 2, that's a basic fact. I should know that. Gives me 4. Now, if I do not know what 8 divided by 2 is, list the multiples of 2 until you get to 8. So 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to circle that. It is the 4th multiple. So my answer is 4. That means that this L, this missing length, must be 4. And if that side's 4, then the opposite side is 4 as well. I can check this. It's very easy to check. All I have to do, add up those sides. 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4. Well, I know that 5 plus 5 is 10, and I know that 4 plus 4 is 8. So 10 plus 8 gives me that 18, which is the same as up here. So then I know that this is correct. But like yesterday, let's submit it and let's find out. Yep, that's it. The missing length is 4. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so here I have another shape. Looks like a square, but don't always trust what you see. You got to test it, to see if it is. We're going to treat it like it's a rectangle. And we know that the perimeter is 16. And we know that the opposite sides of squares, of rectangles, and squares too, are the same. So if this side is 4, that means that this side must also be 4. Let's plug into our formula what we know. Well, we know the formula is P equals length plus length plus length plus length. Well, we know that the P is 16. And we know that 2 of the sides are 4. So I'm going to plug in to my formula everything I know there. Okay, so now, just like with the other one, I'm going to add up the 2 known sides. I know those 2 sides, 4 plus 4, I know that they give me 8. So those 2 sides, when I add them up together, they give me 8. I'm going to subtract from 16 that 8. And I'm left with 8. Kind of curious. Now, that 8 is what those 2 missing sides, this one and this one, equal together when I add it up. It does not mean that one of the sides is 8. No, what that means is that this side right here plus this side right here is 8. So I have to take that 8 and I got to split it in half. So I'm going to divide it by 2. And again, if I don't know 8 divided by 2, I need to list the multiples, and it will tell me. 8 divided by 2 is 4. That means that this side is 4 and this side is 4. And what do you know? If all the sides are the same, guess what? It is a square. But let's plug it in and let's check it just like yesterday. Yep, that's it. All right, let's do a couple more. All right, so now this one, the perimeter is 18. So when we add up all of our sides, it's going to give us that 18. That's what we're looking for, is what are our sides. We'll start by labeling what you know. This side is 7, so if that side's 7, then this side must be 7 as well. Let's plug into the formula what we know. We know that the P is 18. We know what 2 of our lengths are, but we don't know the other 2. Plug in what you know. You know that 2 of the lengths are 7 each. Well, 7 plus 7 gives me 14. So I'm going to subtract from that 18 the 14, and I'm left with 4. Remember, that does not mean that each one of these sides is 4. No. What that means is that this side plus this side is 4. So I have to take that 4 and divide it in half because I want to know 2 of my sides. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. That must mean that my missing length here is 2. And if this is 2, then that's 2. Again, you can check this. Just add up your sides. 7 plus 7 is 14. Plus 2 is 16. Plus 2 is 18. Let's type in 2 here. Let's see what it says. Yep, that's it. Submit our answer. Good job. All right, so the next one here, let's skip this one. This one right here. Now, we have a perimeter of 20, and we know that one of our sides is 7. Well, if I know that side, the top, then I know the bottom also is 7. So let's plug in what we know here. We know that it equals 20 all the way around. That's our perimeter. We know that 2 of our sides are 7, but we do not know the other 2. So I'm going to put 2 7s in for 2 of the L's, and then I'm going to leave the other 2 L's blank because I do not, or not blank, but L's, because I do not know them. So 7 plus 7 is 14. I'm going to get rid from that 20, those 2 sides, and what I'm left with will give me what the other 2 sides are equaled together. I'm left with 6. Now, that means 6 is what this side plus this side equals. So they're together right now. I want to separate them. And remember, they're going to have to be the same because this is a rectangle. So 6 divided by 2 is, well, 3, because 2 times 3 is 6. Again, just list the multiples of 2, and it will give you your information that you need. So each side is 3. But let's check. Okay, we got 7, 7, 3, and 3. Well, we know that 7 plus 7 is 14. 3 plus 3 is 6. 14 plus 6 would give us our 20. So I think 3 is the right answer. I'm going to type in 3. Check my answer. Yep, that's it. So now let's submit it. All right, now what I'd like for you to do is to clear out your desk, and your substitute's going to pass out today's worksheet, and she's also going to pass out the paper like she did yesterday. Once she does that, then let's listen to the instruction